She smacks her ruby red glass lips together, not a flaw on her ageless face. Strapping on her stilettos and spraying her hair to a T, she gracefully walks down the staircase into her sleek sports car. Perfection. Nothing could be wrong with this image of a middle-aged woman. She's attractive, wealthy, and has it all, but does she really? In today's society, women strive for perfection in their lives, whether it's at home or with their career. However, having all the money in the world, a white picket fence, and a husband to show off is not reasonably attainable for most women. Reality television is easily making it reasonable for this perfect woman. Created in 2004, ABC's show Desperate Housewives opened new doors to showing some of the hidden struggles women go through beyond their outer beauty. This quirky fictional premise is the sudden death of a seemingly happy suburban housewife, Mary Alice Young, who commits suicide after quietly polishing the routine of her life until it gleamed completely to perfection. Thereafter, she becomes the show's narrator, commenting each week on the trials and tribulations of her neighbors on Wisteria Lane. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is another show on E! Network. It started in 2007. This reality show tunes into the lives and the careers of the Kardashians, which is a multi-million-dollar family. Another one is The Real Housewives. It is a series that has cities such as Orange County, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, and New York. And I just feel like reality television and these shows listed above causes women to strive for the social norm of perfection. And even when you achieve this perfection, it comes a cost that can be harmful and very destructive. There are a variety of factors in social life that motivate women to strive for physical perfection. One of the main factors I feel are women's perception of how men view them. The image of a woman portrays is the very first view and the first judgment that a woman wants to show off. And a man perceives a woman much differently than a woman would naturally perceive herself. Married or unmarried, what a man first sees in a woman is the overall outside view, the face, the curves, all that kind of stuff. And this has nothing to do with the overpowering displays of vulgarity that women can show. They continue to be depicted as sex objects, especially in reality television, in provocative states and inferior statuses to men. Since this depiction is so stereotypical, women also, easily feel a strong obligation to impress. But the quest for this social perfection is not only influenced by a man's judgment, but also a woman's. So there are many more factors that can be socially harmful and destructive. Another factor which motivates women to strive for physical perfection is the judgment of other women. So men get this opportunity to be unmarked and not judged by other people like women are on almost everything. And women in the world of social reality deviate from the norm. So the female gender is basically a mark, and the male gender, I would say, isn't at all. So more often than not, the pursuit of perfection in reality television creates marital issues such as affairs, and it's very frequent whether it's going to be a fictional reality or a non-fictional reality. So, for instance, the women of Desperate Housewives are driven by desire for the attainment of romantic love. And they just, despite the fact that many of them have experienced it as a failure in the past. When women don't feel satisfied with how their men acts, they often resort to something else, obviously, usually an affair. The women shown in reality television, it seems, enjoy the thrill, and it's often an escape to their problem. And I feel like this being displayed so frequently just isn't really good for people to think that it's okay when it's really not. So frequently, the problems go beyond the couple and negatively affect their family and their friends. Obviously, if you're going to have an affair, it's going to affect your family. But every female character on these reality series somehow internally struggles with their attempt of obtaining that perfect idealistic picture of a family. For example, the Kardashians, there's always stuff going wrong, whether it's not getting married and breaking up 7 days later, or just the girls being teenagers. And this struggle, I feel, is intentionally portrayed to serve as a source of comfort to the audience for mothers that are trying to have that perfect family. So I do feel it's okay to show dysfunction, but not dysfunction when you're striving to be perfect, because obviously not everyone is. And I feel like reality TV proves the destructiveness that this creates in families, and it also shows the severity of what perfection means to women in pop culture today. The idea is that an idealistic family is also attainable to beautiful women living in these beautiful houses on TV. So when you are one of these people, it's whatever, it fits in. So it's often overlooked as the strain that's placed on female friendships when this is all going on. as the friend enters this like vicious cycle of jealousy and this pursuit of perfection, it brings in friends. And there's a term called frenemy, which is used a lot on reality television, and just whether it's fiction or not. And that's mixing a friend and an enemy and bringing them together. And it's just super harmful to your social life because friends are really important to have. And when you make frenemies, then you're just sort of on this path of jealousy, basically. So I like this. The structured definition would say it refers to someone who pretends to be a friend but actually is an enemy. She's likely to be a friend who is filled with ambivalence and jealousy. And being a frenemy is just very harmful. So I feel like that's something that you see a lot in reality television. And so when striving for perfection, women often want to be on the top of their entourage. And I feel like this isn't only with women, but it's also with men, because everyone looks up to them. Everyone wants to feel this perfection that they feel. But this does often create jealousy and can be just super destructive to a woman's emotions. So while Desperate Housewives is an exaggeration of the real thing, all of these shows are really reflective of the problems facing women in the American society today, regardless of the middle age or not, due to this quest for perfection. So aside of cynically reinforcing sexual, racial, and class stereotypes, it opens up the mind to other women that no one's life is completely perfect. And these programs show us many examples of what society is becoming to when striving for perfection. It also may seem as if these women have it all, but in reality they face major problems that can harmfully affect their marriages, families, friendships, and all in all, this quest for social perfection, influenced by reality TV, has become destructive and very harmful to a woman's self. So I'd recommend when you watch reality TV next, even though you guys are guys, that you don't try to be this idealistic, perfect person, because it's not going to do anything for you but be harmful. Thank you.